Going to join us here today. That's going to happen in a few minutes, I hope. And well, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Inner Harbor Cast, or maybe the Inner Harbor Castaways. And I think Matt Stell is coming out right now. Hey, buddy, how are you? Hang on.
Did that light bother anybody?
No, hang on. There you are. No, you look good. Nah, it is. Looks like you're in a white padded room.
That's where they keep me around here.
Dude, how are you?
Man, I'm good. Yeah? Just here in Nashville and avoiding the gym.
Yeah. Well, dude, don't. You got to go to the gym.
I know, but
I can
fight every day.
I know. I say that every day, and every day I don't go. And then my wife will go, "Did you go to the gym today?" I went, "No."
Yeah. I find that if I can just get there, I'll end up at least putting in some time,
Yeah, I hear you. How you been? Things good?
Man, things are good. Things are good. New music coming out.
I know.
About that whole project. So,
dude, that's crazy. I remember we talked a while ago on my Skip Happens podcast.
Yeah,
that was a while ago, and of course, with Shelly and all those. But so here we are. You got new music coming out. But if I remember correctly, you're from Arkansas and a little town called Center Ridge.
Center Ridge. Nailed it.
Yes, I got it.
You nailed it.
Hey, where the hell is Center Ridge? Don't mean to be rude. I'm just asking.
No, that's a great question. It's about, I always tell people it's an hour west of Little Rock. So
okay,
it's near Little Rock.
So somebody says, "Hey, so where are you from?" You say Little Rock.
If they're not familiar with Arkansas, just say outside of Little Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell me that, and I believe you. So it's like, okay, yeah, that's good. It's like I'm from a little town outside of Syracuse. So somebody says, "Hey, where are you from?" I say, the Q's, Syracuse.
The Q's, that's right.
The Q's. So what's going on, man? You got new music coming out. You maybe you got a little bit of downtime right now to kind of regather your thoughts, or what's up?
Man, it's sick. Everything's kind of ramping up. I had a nice little break around Christmas. I had a couple weeks off and enjoyed that, recharged the batteries, and now we're hitting the road again, getting to write some songs when I'm home, and shows are starting back. We were in Connecticut Connecticut last weekend, and then Nashville tomorrow night. And so, yeah, the shows, writing, radio picking up. So it's how I like it. It's getting busy.
Yeah, really. I mean, it must be nice to get that downtime, but you probably look forward to getting back out there too. I mean, after all, it's your bread and butter is what you do, and you're so awesome at it. So,
well, I definitely do look forward to getting after it. I love doing it. It is nice to have a break because it is a grind, but I'm chomping at the bit now.
Yeah, I'd love to get you back up here in Central New York. I remember the fair last year, and you kind of strolled over to our booth, and we sat down to do a podcast. And every time we clicked the mic on, your band would start their sound check. And it's like, I think when I look at it, it's like there's three separate videos of the interview with Matt Stell, because the minute we'd start to talk, your band would start the sound check. And then you'd say something, they'd stop. Then we start to talk again, and they start the sound check again. So it's
exactly.
Hey, Breakin in Boots. Tell me about that, dude.
Yeah, man, excited about it. I wrote this song. It's from a lot of nights I've spent out at bars, but one in particular that I sort of saw a girl across the bar, and I was gonna go say what's up to her, but by the time I tabbed out, she was gone, and she had on a pair of boots that were kind of like the ones I had on, and I was gonna say something about that. And but when I got there, she was gone. So the next day, my buddies and I basically just sort of wrote about it, or at least that's what inspired the story. So
does she have? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, my thing is to try to capture those, those true moments that I've lived or seen lived by people, and man, that's one that I know a little bit about. So that was a lot of fun to get that written and do a little up-tempo heartbreak, man. I love it.
Oh, up-tempo heartbreak. I love that. That's what we need, dude. We need some up-tempo heartbreak is what
absolutely.
It just makes it, it's the feel. It's sad, but it's the feel good that's within the song. Does this girl know anything about this? That you wrote a song about her, more or less?
I don't know. I never
no
met
idea.
Her. So maybe it's her favorite song, and I just don't know. She doesn't even know it's about her. So that's what I'm just gonna assume.
I would laugh my ass off if she ended up watching this, and she goes, "Oh my God, I remember that guy. He was sitting on the other side of the bar."
Exactly. The guy with the nice boots.
The guy with the nice boots. But she had boots on, you said, right?
She did. They were a lot like, they looked to be very similar to mine that I had on at the time. So that's what I was gonna use to strike a conversation up. So
you had it all planned and it didn't work out.
The best laid plans, right?
But they make the best songs.
Yeah, I like to think so.
Yeah, take it from an artist and a songwriter like you. Put it all together. It's cool. What's your favorite? Speaking of boots, do you have a favorite brand that you like to wear?
The folks at Luke Casey have been pretty good to me. Yeah. So that's what I've got a couple pair of those I really like. I've got a pair from a place in Texas that I also like a lot, that I sort of wore too much and got wet and they don't fit right anymore. I need to figure that out. But I these Luke Casey's, I've got some ostrich and I've got some gators that I like. I love it. I swap in between those. Yeah.
My wife a few years ago did a business trip, went to Texas, brought me back a pair of Luke Casey's. Yeah. And they're so good. They're black and they're just soft and comfortable. And it's not that I wear them every day. I save them for certain events, but really, really cool. So what else is going on, man? It's just that you're out there, you're doing your thing. Where are you heading?
Man, I'm all over the place, man. We gear up next week, and I'm gonna go see some of my folks in Florida, and then we'll be up in Wisconsin, I think, pretty soon. It's hard to keep track of it all, to just be honest with you, because we're I don't know how you do it. But but we're pretty much everywhere at some point. So
does an artist like yourself, and you're on the bus, do you really realize? Do you know where you're going?
Not really. I mean, I know
exactly.
I know when I know the week of, or like, where.
We have lost Matt Stell, but I'm sure he's going to be back here in a few minutes. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, my alarm went off. I guess I hit snooze right here before we started instead of off, and so it was the 9 minutes had been up. So it rang.
Hey, my time is up, is what you're telling me. All right,
no,
go away. I'm done with you.
Not at all.
But so you wake up on the bus, you're in a different town. It just, being an artist and being on the road so often and just go. To me, it'd be like, where are we? Where are we going next? I know you have a good schedule. I know you put on a great show and you love being wherever you end up. But it's the point of, do you really know where you're going?
Yeah, I mean, I know a few days ahead of time. I have a schedule, and thank God that I do. And I just follow my calendar religiously, and I just try to show up on time anywhere my calendar says.
Would you say you're a good on-time guy?
I think so, for the most part. If I'm not on time, there's a reason. But I'm pretty much, I try to be pretty punctual.
I mean, you were pretty punctual here. I mean, right at 3:30, boom, there's Matt. Exactly. So it's kind of cool. Lucky I was on it, because half the time I forget where I am. So what I'm doing. So, and I'm just doing the radio thing. I asked my wife if I'm ever on time. No. No. It doesn't work that way. What do you do for fun? You get out there and hunt. Am I correct by saying that?
I do, man. I get out in the deer woods. I enjoy deer hunting, and I'll do a turkey hunt a little bit too. Enjoy that, and I love to play golf. I love to just kind of be outside. I've recently, believe it or not, I'm not very good at it, but I've started to surf a little bit, and which I enjoy. Yeah, I've been out on the West Coast some, so I've learned that a little bit, and enjoy it. But yeah, I just like to be outside, and whether that's hunting and fishing, whether that's golfing or surfing or just running or working on something, doesn't matter, man. I enjoy being outside. Everything. I've started to cook lately a little bit too. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, my TikTok, man, has been teaching me how to make stuff, and it makes it pretty easy. So I just hop on there and I would say I'm a great cook, but I can do more now.
Right
there. What's that?
I put my phone up. I said, oh, there it is. I said, thank God we have this, because it's just everything, whether you're on YouTube or you go to TikTok, you're going to learn how to do it, and you're going to learn how to do it right. So.
Yeah. If you want to learn, there is outlets to learn how to do stuff, so that's for sure.
Right. And what's your best thing to cook? Where are you? How good are you? I'm asking you a lot of questions at once.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not all that great. I've always been able to fry stuff, and I've learned things along the way, like how to make a gumbo and to feed big groups of people and stuff. But I've recently just kind of been messing with some chicken and trying not to, like last night I made some chicken thighs with some rice, and I made like a garlic and onion sort of sauce with it, and just trying to learn. Just for me. For me. I've learned that if it's for two people on TikTok, that means it's just enough for me. Evidently, I
love it. Yeah. Have you set the smoke alarms off at all?
I haven't. Luckily, I haven't had to. So I'm sure I will here pretty soon. But
yeah. Hey, have you been watching the football playoffs at all? You know who's going to the big game already, and do you have a say in any of that?
Yeah, man, I've been watching them religiously. I love playoff sports is the best, and man, we got a great Super Bowl coming up, and I think so. I guess I kind of would have rather seen the Lions win. I felt like everybody loves a good underdog story, but
I was rooting for the Lions. I've been like, they're the underdog. It was going to be awesome. And I actually walked out of the room for a little bit. I went down to my pod zone at home to get something done. And I came back and I saw the score and that the Lions had lost. I go, are you kidding me? They came back. I mean, this team came back, the 49ers, from a 17-point deficit. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah. You felt like the Lions, kind of some self-inflicted wounds there, but
yeah, I know. Everybody's a coach, everybody's an expert, but
that's right. That's exactly right. Luckily I wasn't out there catching those balls.
I guess not. Tell us about your shows. I mean, of course, I know the hits that you've had. We've played them. I Pray for You. I hear at weddings. I actually used that at a wedding, and you did a video for the bride at one time. Let's talk about that for a second. Do you get asked to play that at weddings if you're in town, or have you ever just kind of, I'm Matt Stell, I'm going to play this for you?
Well, I mean, I kind of like to wait till I'm asked just to make sure that, but
why?
But I've definitely done that. I played that song at weddings, and I was always a little kind of timid about that, because I never thought that I was going to be the wedding song guy. I thought I wrote that song for somebody else to cut. But, now, having done it and seeing how it really matters to people, a lot. And it's really a compliment that they'd want to include that song in such a memorable day in their lives, that I get excited about doing it. It means a lot when people ask, for sure.
Do you, as a songwriter and an artist, when you put out a song like I Pray for You, and not knowing where it's really going to go at the time, but it becomes a big wedding song, is that kind of a whole different side of things when an artist has a song that, I guess, quote unquote, becomes a wedding song? You know what I mean? Is that different from the others in any way?
Well, I mean, it just it is, different. It's different in a lot of ways. Like most of what we do is not that, to be honest with you. Most of what we do is kind of aggressive, kind of high energy sort of stuff, and a lot of it's heartbreak, stuff, or gone wrong at least stuff. So, I mean, it is different, but it's like I said, it's special. That I just wanted to make music that mattered to people, and you don't even know what that's going to be like sometimes, and so you go and just try to write the best song and try to, as best you can, tell the truth, and that has seemed to resonate with folks. So, that's sort of where I'm at on it all, and whether it's writing love songs or writing songs that are not or about other stuff, try to, as best I can, tell the truth.
Yeah. Looking at your bio a little bit and knowing that you signed, you're in New York City, didn't you? Is that where it was, Sony in Manhattan?
Yeah, Sony, New York. My record deal is actually out of Sony, New York. Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Originally. Yeah. Okay. I got you. So that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, they kind of reached out and came to us and
Mhm.
you know, and prayed for you, got that done too.
Mhm.
And that's
No,
another testament to that song changing, you know, changing everything for us. So it's really, and you know, that group up there is really, especially here lately, is really empowering, you know, me and kind of let me be the, you know, the artist that I am, and not
mhm,
feeling like I'm pigeonholed as any one thing, you know,
gotcha.
and so that's been really good.
Yeah. But if I remember correctly, the previous times that we talked, but you're a 90s alternative guy. Didn't you grow
Yeah.
up listening to 90s alternative more or less, and
Mhm.
maybe some rock, and
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of rap? Because I think you told us something about, shooting hoops to the guys and stuff, and the rap would be on and this and that. And,
Basketball locker rooms are generally hip hop locker rooms.
yeah, no, yeah.
So, but yeah, man. I mean, you know, it gives you an appreciation for all different kinds of music. You know,
Mhm.
country music is still what I listen to the most, and what I, you know, what's home base for me. But I definitely, you know, some of those formidable records when I was younger were, you know, a lot of that alternative stuff in the '90s, a lot of that
Yeah,
indie kind of like, and I probably comes out in my music too a little bit. I I think
that's
for
good.
better or for worse, you know,
Yeah.
it get a little indie, a little alternative, but that's what I love. You know, I like it when it feels different and when it feels new. And a lot of those records, like, you know, Jagged Little Pill
Mm.
and What's a Story, Morning Glory,
Oh
and
my gosh. Oh,
Crack Your View, and
yeah,
all
yeah,
those, you
yeah.
know, those bands and those records meant a lot to me and still do. And you know, I don't try to make it sound like I don't try to do it. It's just a lot of times when I make music, that's how it comes out of the oven. So
I
we're just
like
gonna
that.
roll with
I
it.
like that.
Yeah.
You put the Matt Stell touch on it. You make it yours.
Man, I try to, because I'm not any good at doing anybody else's version.
But
You
you
know,
do. I've seen your show. You do some covers. And
yeah.
do you have like a favorite cover? I'm sure everybody asks you this, but do you have like something, we got to make sure we play this. I just love this tune. It's a cover of somebody else's song. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite song, we don't do it every night, but Great Day to Be Alive is probably my favorite
Ah,
song, or one of them. And it's so, as from a writer and a listener, you know, I just love that song, because I know how hard it is to write a positive song that doesn't
mhm.
sound like trite or doesn't sound like Disney, you know.
Right,
And
right.
nothing necessarily wrong with that. It's just not my thing. And so Great Day to Be Alive is like is very real to me.
Mm,
And you know, it
very
sounds like something, you know, I believe Travis Tritt when he sings it,
mhm,
and you know, the guy that wrote it, Daryl Scott, is one of
mhm.
my all-time favorites. And you know, I believe him when he wrote it. So, you know, it comes down to that, you know, to
You
me. And
know,
so I just respect the craft. And
absolutely. Absolutely. Totally get it. Excellent stuff. Being on this side of things, and playing the music every day on the radio, and what I'm noticing is there are a shitload of collaborations.
yeah,
I mean, with Jelly Rolls on every other, I'm not dissing it at all. I think it's kind
yeah.
of cool that everybody is reaching out and everybody's helping each other, I guess, more or less. Do you have any of that for you coming down in the near future?
You know, possibly, you know, with me, it's you know, we've done some collabs in the past, and I like collabs. I think that you know, with me, I like for it to be you know, there's sometimes they're really cool, and then sometimes they're just kind of not, you know, when it's like, oh,
Mm,
let's just put these two names together.
mm,
So when I do collab, you know, I want it to be that, you know, an actual collaboration. And you know, like a couple of those things that you said are, you know, great. So you know what song I really love right now that's a collab is that Mamaw's House. That's I
oh,
think that's
that's
such a
so good.
great song, man.
So good.
And yeah, and there's a bunch, but that one just sticks out. I
Yeah.
just was
Yeah.
really, and that's what I call one of my grandmas is Memo. So
Mama.
you know,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
it hit home in a lot of ways. But yeah, man, we'll see what's in the pipe, and excited about it.
I have to ask, how did you handle the 9 inches of snow here a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago for you guys? Were you in town when all that fell?
No, no, I stayed
You
out of town.
you
I
were
was in
lucky.
Florida, and I was supposed to come back and go to California after that, but
Yeah.
I just stayed in Florida a couple extra days, and I went to California a couple days early. I said, "Man, I'm out," because
I
everything
don't
shuts
blame.
down here. I mean, there's no
Oh, yeah.
point. Like, you can't go to the store. You can't you certainly can't write songs. You know, I mean, you can on Zoom, but I could do that in California. You know,
Sure, sure. You can do
so
that anywhere. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, I pieced out and I got back, and when I landed, it was still a week later. My truck was under, a half a foot of snow still.
Really?
So
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I a quick story. Many years ago, I was in Nashville for the country radio seminar, and I was staying at the Hilton right across from the Country Music Hall of Fame. And I wake up early, and the radio comes on, and they're talking about all these schools being closed and all. I go, holy crap! It must have really snowed last night. Now, mind you, here in the Northeast, we, in Syracuse, we get. I'm sure you've heard this. We get a foot of snow, and yeah, that's all right. We go to work, we go to school, we make it happen. But we got the equipment to handle it. But when I woke up in Nashville and I look outside, I go, I don't see anything. But apparently there was a little ice on the road, and so everything shut down. Everything just went. That's it, done. So,
yeah, well, it's just like what you said. It's just preparedness and having the equipment, and also it's generally never the metropolitan areas or even the suburban areas that you're in, or the reasons why they cancel it is you can't have school. When 20% of the kids can't get down the hill. That's how it was in Arkansas too. I mean, the main roads might clear out, but man, I live down 4 miles of dirt road, and if it froze there's no salt truck coming there. So
no, absolutely not. I guess it wasn't only the snow, but it was the cold temperatures. I mean, I have some label friends, their pipes burst. And it was, they're not used to that. It never really gets that cold. It was actually colder in Nashville than it was here in Syracuse, New York. So
yeah,
that was crazy, man. I think our weather's messed up. Things are changing.
It seems to be that. Yeah.
That's a song right there. You need to do a song about the weather.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't know.
Long as old men sit and talk about the weather. Long as the weather.
There you go. And our wooden,
yep.
Yeah, and our wooden rocking chairs on the front porch. Just gotta, remember when? As I rock, I'm gonna fall off this chair in a minute. But yeah, the same thing. So you as Matt Stell, you got Breakin' in Boots coming out. Just a great song. You got some good stuff coming down. You're gonna be out on the road. Let me ask you, because you're all over the place. Where is one place that you would love to go that you've never been?
Oh man, that's a great question. I've been so many places that I love. I would like to go to Vancouver. I've been all over everywhere in the US, and I love it. And I've been to Alaska, I've been to the East Coast of Canada. I'd love to go to the West Coast of Canada. Everybody says it's great, I would love to go. I love anytime I'm in the islands. I'm from Arkansas, but I grew up on the Florida Gulf Coast too. So I got some salt water in my blood, and I love that. Around the world, I haven't been to Asia. I'd love to go there. I would love to go to Australia. That would be incredible.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Japan. I would love to go to Tokyo and just experience such a different foreign place, and I like that kind of stuff. So there's lots of places I'd like to go.
You mentioned Tokyo, and Taylor's playing there, and I'm sure you've heard this.
Yeah,
haters are gonna hate. That's all I'm gonna say. Haters will hate. That's a 17-hour flight from Las Vegas. But I was reading in our prep today, she's definitely going to fly back for the game. So, and you got to think that Tokyo is ahead of us 17 hours. It's not a 17-hour flight. I'm sorry. It's more like probably a 13 or 14. But Tokyo is 17 hours ahead of us in time. So she's going to go back in time and still make the game. That's got to mess on your body, man. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I can tell you 100% it will. Like anytime. But one time we played over in the Middle East. We went to the UAE and we're playing at the military base over there, and it was so many hours different. And I got there and sleep, blah blah blah. It's different. And then I got there in my room and closed the door, and there was no windows, and I just slept for like 8 hours. I had no idea what time it was, where I was. It was just such a foreign thing. So.
Wow, that's got to mess you up. No doubt about that. That's kind of cool. I'd love to go to Australia myself. I think that'd be a great place to go and see. Yeah, it takes a while to get there, but
absolutely.
I don't. It's going to be a lot of fun. What do you drive? Can I ask? You mentioned a truck. Let me guess. You and then you didn't tell me this before. Are you driving a Silverado?
I am not driving.
Are you driving a Dodge?
I am not driving.
Ah, are you kidding me? What are you in a Ford?
Yes, sir.
350.
No, I don't need a 1-ton truck anymore. I don't.
No,
I've
so
had
it's not a
3/4 ton.
dually. Okay.
No, it's not a do. I don't have to. My trailer stays behind the bus. I don't have to pull it anywhere, so I don't need it. And
That's
it's
true.
hard enough to get around. I drive an F-150, and like of last week, I was not paying attention in a parking garage, and I turned too sharp, and I dented the bottom of my truck
Oh
by
no,
a
dude.
concrete pillar in a parking garage because I wasn't paying attention. So it'd be even way worse, trying to get a 1-ton around. It'd just be, and I don't need it right now. At one point, at a point here before too long, I'm gonna get me a few acres and
There you go.
get a few cows like I used to have.
There you go. That's the way you do it.
And I'll need it then, but I don't need it now.
Was it a new 150?
It was new last year. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's new. It's new. Oh man, I'd be sick if I did that. I know I've done things like that too.
Yeah.
I've had the 150, I've had the Ram, I've had the Silverado. So it's just sometimes you just don't think it happens,
Yeah, I've had them all, and
skip happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throwing it out there. Matt, it's been great chatting with you a little bit today. Looking forward to the new music. Of course, a lot of that is starting to come out now. You're going to continue to put that out, and we're going to get you right back on the radio. Well, you haven't left the radio. I mean, you're still there, so it's kind of cool. And the new stuff, I really look forward to it. And hopefully, we're going to see you. I don't know if you're going to be bouncing around at the country radio seminar or not, but
I'll be around CRS. Yeah. I'm sure I'll see it at bar lines or see it something. I think. Yeah.
Come on down, I'll buy you one. I'll buy you one. You don't have to buy me one. I'll buy you one.
Hey, I'll take you up on it. We'll swap.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I say that to a lot of people like yourself, because I'm gonna say something that you probably don't hear too often. That from my side of things, being on the radio, it's people like you, it's artists like you that make my job so easy. And you're giving us the good music to play, the music that the listeners love. And when that happens, my job is a piece of cake. So, and it's because of artists like yourself. And I appreciate that. I don't know if anybody else would tell you that, but I'm telling you that as a program director and as an on-air guy. So,
well, I really appreciate you saying that. And, country radio has changed my life, and, having partners over there like y'all and letting y'all take, a chance on me back before, anybody had, before I had anything going to now, man, I really appreciate it. And thanks for having me on,
No, absolutely. I'm just looking at, somebody just Facebooked me a question, and maybe you already answered it, but Melanie did. And she is asking, what is your favorite song to sing and why?
Oh, that's a great question. Actually, I'm working on this new record, and I got, most of it recorded. I've got, some more to write, and it's coming up. But anyway, one of the songs off this new project, I just started teasing it on social media. It's called "Born Lonely," and it probably means the most to me of any song that I've ever written, because it's so true that it embarrasses me a little bit, and because it's hard to talk about a little bit, but until I know maybe it's important to talk about. So, "Born Lonely" right now is my favorite song to perform.
Can I ask what kind of personal?
Yeah, you can ask for sure. So
you don't have to tell me if it's something that, you know what I mean. I get it.
Man.
Go ahead.
My thing is in the music that I care about, and the stuff that I'm gonna, call a life, and I'm gonna write songs that are real, whether they're fun or whether they're telling some hard truths. And this song is about, it's really about me trying to love somebody that was a lot like me, and seeing the flaws or the like speed bumps in that person, but I knew them because I'm just that way. And so a lot of it has to do with, I love, my mom. I don't feel like anybody's any closer with their mom and with their family than I am. So I did not this, it's not a slight to her. It's not a slight to my dad.
Sure.
But my parents split up before I can remember, and it changed things for me, and it makes relationships hard. I think, it makes me who I am. It's like relationships are not where happy comes from. Relationships are where really, really sad comes from. And so I avoided that in my life looking back, avoided getting hurt and staying out of relationships and things like that. And that's what that song's about. And yeah. And so it's like, I don't want to use the word trauma because I had great parents, but I definitely, it just part of my story is my parents split up and they lived a long way and they didn't always get along. And it was hard on me, and they did their best, and I'm not mad at them, but this just,
I get you. Okay. I got it. You know what? And just what you just told me right there. I haven't even heard this song, but I'm going to say because of what it's about, and look at life nowadays and the kids growing up, people growing up, the parents. I mean, where are the parents? They're not together. They've split. This has happened. That's happened. That song has hit potential right behind it. If it's as good as what you're telling me, which I'm sure it is,
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. But I mean, as far as good, bad, all I know is I wrote it twice. I wrote it by myself. And then one time I was in a writer's room and we were just talking and we had this vibe going. I said, guys, I got this title. I already wrote it, but if we can make this better, we'll use it. If not, I already have it written. Just letting y'all know. And we rewrote it and we got way better. And all I know is that I'm proud of it. And so I'll be excited for people to hear it.
Now, my parents were together till the end. I went through a lot of that, and I had kids growing up, and it wasn't very pretty. It wasn't. There were times we didn't get along. There were times, and here it is 20 some odd years later, and it's just terrible. And I know it affected my kids somewhat. So.
Well, most people do their best, and that's all you can do.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm very quick not to I'm not putting blame on anyone because I'm my own, I'm my own person. Mm-hmm. But in order to understand, in order for me to go, you know what, I'm going to try. My mom tried very hard to help me break cycles. And I did, but almost getting to where I might not have a cycle if I keep this up. And so there's no blame. There's no malice in my situation, Gotcha. But it just, I am the way I am because of where I came from and who I came from. And so that's that.
You're awesome. You're awesome, dude. It's Matt Stell. Yeah. Here on the Inner Harbor cast with 92.1 The Wolf today. Of course, it's been an honor to talk to this guy. It's always a pleasure. We had him at the fair. And of course, I know we've had him on other podcasts as well, but today he's joining us on the Inner Harbor cast. Matt Stell, he's got new music coming out. They can get a hold of Better in Boots.
Breakin in Boots, yeah.
Breakin in Boots. I'm sorry. Breakin in Boots is available right now, though, right?
Absolutely, it is. It's ready. Yep. It's available right now, and I love that song. It's popping off live. Right. It's so fun to do. I can't wait for folks to really get a hold of it.
Yeah, Matt, are you at home?
No, I'm not. I'm actually at my record label right now.
Tell them they need some furniture.
No, I know, right? I'm in this writer's room.
They need some things on the wall. I mean,
this is my cell. This is where they make me stay until it's time to go play a show. They're afraid that I'll tear shit up.
Tell Josh, you need something on that wall. You need something.
100%. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You can help with that. We'll just get us some plaques and we'll have plenty to hang on this.
There you go. We can do that. I'm all for that, dude, especially for you. All right. We love you, man. Now, Matt Stell, thanks for joining me today. Stay right there. It's been the Inner Harbor cast right here, 92.1 The Wolf, and we're on YouTube /@ Inner Harbor Media. Thanks, Matt. Have a great afternoon. Okay, we're split, and every time I go like that, my hand disappears. So there you go. Peace, dude. All right. Thanks for joining us. You got it. Stay right there.
See ya.
All right.